On the news today, Atiku Abubakar emerged ADC presidential candidate for 2027. On the foreign scene, 16 students die in Kenya boarding school fire. United States launches fresh strikes on Iran amid tense ceasefire. And in sports, Millwall turned down €20 million offer for Femi Aziz. Glad to have you join us. This is the news update at 12 on Dominion Television, Ibadan. Amuluayemi Adelakun. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has emerged as the presidential candidate of the African Democratic Congress for the 2027 general election, defeating Rotimi Amaechi and Mohamed Ayatollah in the party's primary. The result announced in Abuja showed Atiku polling over 1.8 million votes to defeat his closest challenger, Amaechi, while the party leadership later presented him with the ADC flag. Speaking after the victory, Atiku called on a good aspirant and party members to unite, insisting that internal competition should not divide the party. However, both Amaechi and Ayatollah reportedly rejected the outcome, alleging irregularities in the voting process. The presidential candidate of the African Democratic Congress, Atiku Abubakar, has urged the federal government to focus on addressing economic hardship, insecurity, and the rising cost of living in the country. In a statement, Atiku reacted to recent comments from the presidency on Nigeria's borrowing profile, saying government claims reflect a disconnect from the realities facing ordinary Nigerians. He stressed that economic policies should be judged by their impact on citizens, welfare, and national development, not just borrowing comparisons with other countries. Atiku also called for borrowing to be tied to productive investment in infrastructure, agriculture, security, and economic growth, while urging policies that ease the burden of inflation and rising food costs. Nigeria Democratic Congress has clarified that its presidential governorship and legislative primaries will still hold nationwide on May 29th, despite adjustment linked to the Etika B holidays. In a statement issued in Abuja, NDC National Chairman Moses Cleopas said transportation and logistical challenges caused by the festive period made the adjustment necessary. He explained that May 28 will now be used for arrivals, documentation with relevant agencies, consultations, and other preparatory activities ahead of the primaries. The party also warned that no state institution or security agency is expected to participate in the May 28 activities, stressing that any action outside approved guidelines would be considered illegal and unauthorized. The secretary of the Accord Party in Oyo State has cleared the air over the ongoing crisis within the party, confirming that Honorable Kunle Busari remains the authentic governorship candidate of the party in the state. Tawo Larewaju as the report.
The secretary of the Accord Party in Oyo State has clarified issues surrounding the ongoing crisis rocking the party in the state. Honorable Yinka Dairo confirmed that Honorable Kunle Busari remains the authentic candidate of the party, stressing that the certificate of return being paraded by Oriyomi Hamzat and his faction is not genuine. He maintained that the primary process recognized by the state executives and monitored by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, remains the only legitimate exercise.
Accord as a party in Oyo State, we don't have problems. We have people that want to be giving us problem. If you monitor what happened 3 days ago or 2 days ago, you understand what I'm actually talking about. We had our primaries at IBS, Ibadan Business School at Bodija, and everything went well. Some people gathered somewhere saying that they have a consensus candidate, which I want to tell you that there is nothing like that. Where you have 3 aspirants, there is no way consensus can work.
Honorable Dairo also dismissed claims by the opposing faction within the party, describing the activities as a jamboree. According to him, the authentic state executives conducted the valley screening and premier election in the presence of INEC officials.
We went for our own direct primary, and people that present at IBS, the venue for our primary that day, they will see that we did our primary in direct form, the way Electoral Act stipulated.
Despite the internal crisis within the party, the Accord Party chieftain expressed optimism that the disputes would soon be resolved, emphasizing that the overall interest and unity of the party remain paramount ahead of the forthcoming elections. Taiwo Olanrewaju, reporting for Dominion News.
The Kwara State Police Command has dismissed social media report alleging the arrest of suspected Boko Haram members in Ilorin, describing the claims as false and misleading. In a statement, police spokesperson Adetunwe Jiri Adeyemi said no Boko Haram suspect was arrested anywhere in the state and warned that such reports could create unnecessary panic. The command explained that operatives only intercepted the truck conveying Fulani travelers during a routine intelligence-led operation in Ilorin. Police said all occupants were screened and profiled with no weapon incriminating item or security threat discovered. Families, friends. Right, on the foreign scene now, 16 students have been confirmed dead after a fire broke out at a boarding school in Gilgil, about 120 kilometers west of Nairobi, Kenya's capital. Authorities say dozens of other students were injured and taken to the hospital, with many later discharged, while several remain under treatment. The fire occurred in the early hours of Thursday at Utumishi Girls Academy while students were asleep. Emergency responders, including the Kenya Red Cross, are still on the scene as investigations continue. Education and Interior Ministers have visited the school, describing the incident as tragic and urging the public to remain calm as the cause of the fire is yet to be determined. The United States military has carried out fresh strikes in Iran, targeting a military site in the southern port city of Bandar Abbas amid growing tension over a fragile ceasefire. U.S. Central Command said the strikes targeted a site preparing to launch a drone and described the operation as defensive and aimed at maintaining the ceasefire. In response, Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps said it targeted a U.S. air base, though it did not disclose the location. Kuwait, which owns American military facilities, later said its air defenses intercepted hostile missiles and drones. The renewed exchange marks the second U.S. strike on Iranian target in 3 days, raising concerns over the stability of ongoing peace efforts. Talking sport, Millwall have rejected a €20 million bid from Ipswich Town for Nigerian winger Femi Azeez. The 24-year-old impressed during the 2025-26 championship season, scoring 11 goals and providing 8 assists in 37 appearances. Azeez was named in the championship team of the season, is also attracting interest from several Premier League clubs. Millwall are holding out for a higher transfer fee, with the player still having 2 years left on his contract. You can visit our website on www.dominion.org.ng to watch us live and interact with us. You can also follow us across our social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and LinkedIn at Dominion Broadcast, and X at Dominion Cast. And hence the news update on Dominion Television. I'm Oluwayemi Adelako saying thank you for watching and good afternoon.